subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Let's get Asparity.
Asparity.
Asparity. Okay, my bad. I mispronounced it. So what's going, Asparity?
You good? You good? It's good, man. I'm just listening. I'm hearing you out.
Okay. And you're a white gentleman who's MAGA, right?
I ain't mad, but yeah, I'm white.
No, MAGA. Make America. I see MAGA.
Yeah, I'm MAGA.
Okay, there you go. And are you where you from? Arkansas? Where you from?
Arizona.
Okay, I was close. It started with an A. So what's on your mind, sir? What's on your mind? You were giving some thumbs down. I thought that was an issue. Did you disagree with some of the stuff that's being said?
I finally got your attention.
Okay, you got my attention. So did you disagree with anything that was said?
Just some stuff.
Like what?
I don't know. My daughter's mixed. My baby mama's black, and we had a good thing together for 3 years.
Now, where's she from? Where's your baby mama's from? Where's she from?
Phoenix, Arizona, baby.
Okay. Before Phoenix, is she an immigrant?
No,
Where's her family from?
born and raised out here.
In Phoenix?
Yup.
They had to come from somewhere. All right. Before they got to Phoenix, black people moved to Phoenix. You don't have a whole generation of black people in Phoenix. So
You know what you have out here in Arizona, though? You have a lot of black and whites coming together out here, man.
yeah, but I'm asking about your baby mama. Where did
Okay.
where did her family come from?
Mm, I can't answer that for you because I don't know.
You don't know where her family came from, and that's your baby mom? That's your daughter's mother?
Yeah.
Damn, so you didn't really care to learn too much about it. You just saw something black and thick and just wanted to get with it.
She was good to me, man. Like she knew how to. She's a good woman.
What happened?
So
What happened with you?
it just didn't work out, man. I mean, when you have a kid with somebody, you really gotta make sure that's the right somebody.
Now, did she live with you? Were y'all living together?
Yeah, we lived together for 2 years.
What kind of food did she cook for you?
She didn't cook.
Really?
Nope.
Who fed y'all? How'd y'all eat?
I paid all the bills. I cooked all the food.
So she's definitely not a foundational Black American woman. All right.
I don't know. When you start using adjectives like that, man, I don't know.
Yeah, you know she's not a foundational Black American. You know that woman comes from some kind of immigrant background. You know she comes from an immigrant background. Why are you afraid to say that? She's clearly an immigrant or from an.
Probably. I mean, we all immigrants, man.
Oh no, we're not. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
So you want to talk about the old tribes that used to cut off heads and drop them off temples out here?
You
Is that
talking,
what you want to talk
you
about?
talking about down in South America? What about them? In Central America? What about them? Those
That's what it was before we got here, man.
not all of them. No, the Yamasees weren't doing that.
No,
They weren't doing that. The Lumber.
the Aztecans weren't doing that.
Yeah, but that's down there in Central America. Every
Yeah, you had tribes, man. Your tribe got invaded. They cut your head off and raped a woman.
tribe. That was one tribe down there.
Right. That's not just one
It
tribe.
was.
That was a lot of tribes in America.
They weren't doing that. Most tribes were not doing that. That was
Bullshit.
no tribes. They were not doing that.
Bullshit, bro. Bullshit.
No, they weren't. And what does that have to do with immigration? You said we all.
Oh, now we talking about immigration.
You the one brought up a random tribe in Central America as a
That's what it was before. That's what it was before we got here.
really. What was that? What does that have to do with immigration? Because I'm
I don't know what you want to talk about, but okay, let's talk about immigration.
right.
Sure.
As you said, we're all immigrants, and I said we're not. We're not all immigrants.
Yeah.
Nobody.
America is all immigrant, man.
No, it's not. Nobody in my family's a damn immigrant. Nobody in my lineage.
So you were born out here,
Sir,
and your parents were born out
my
here too.
family
That's
built
what you're telling me?
my family built the United States from the ground up.
Uh-huh. So you saying blacks were out here before Mexicans and Indians? That's what you're telling me.
Mexicans, yes, there was no such thing as a Mexican before 1520. There's no such thing.
Uh-huh.
But there were black people. Yes, there's been black people here all along.
There were black people in Mexicans' land.
There were black people all through the Americas. Yep.
Uh-huh.
This is science. I'm talking science.
So there was no white
I'm talking
people here. It was just black and Mexican. That's
about,
what you're telling me?
there was no such thing as a Mexican. A
So there was no such thing as a white person then.
Well, white people, yeah, yeah, y'all existed, but you weren't over here.
Uh-huh.
Get here to Columbus.
And you know that.
Well, yeah,
You
that's
know
what
that because you're a historian and a preacher, right?
you guys say that. You tell us that Christopher Columbus discovered America for white people.
Yes, yes, he did.
That's what you
He
what you
he went across the sea thinking he was going to sail off flat Earth.
mm-hmm,
That's what he thought. He
mm-hmm.
thought he was going to sail off flat Earth, and he discovered America. He was willing to
For
risk his
white people.
life and everybody on the boat to come here.
For white people. He discovered
Uh-huh.
it for white people. Black people
And,
already knew about it.
and black people were already here when that happened.
Yes, they were. That's what he said. That said. Why did why do you think he called people? Why do you think he called
Oh my God.
why do you think he
Huh?
called them Indians when they got here?
What are you talking about? Indians were here first, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Mexican and Indians were here first.
no,
Can you deny
what
that? Deny it. Deny
thing
it.
was what
Deny it.
I'm denying it. There were no Mexicans when Columbus. There was no a,
Okay. How many wars did we have with Mexico to take over the land?
a Mexican didn't exist in the 1400s. What are you talking about, sir? What Mexicans existed in the 1400s? That's a question, sir. What Mexicans existed in the 1400s? There was no such thing as a Mexican. Ethnically, racially, nationally, nothing. Where are you, sir? You don't know history. You need to put that meth pipe down and learn something. Huh? I think he got bad reception in that trailer. Asparity, where you at, man? Okay, he's not saying nothing. I don't have him muted. I don't know if he's talking and he got his mic muted and it's the meth. I don't know. EJ, while we're waiting on him to put that meth pipe out, go ahead and chime in, EJ. Waiting on brother EJ to come on through. EJ, what's up, bro? I'm good, man. What's going on?
I'm doing good, man. This cracker came up here to talk about his bitch problems. We don't want to hear that shit. Your bitch left you, and don't be coming up here on Thursday on our holiday trying to give us your little sad ass story. Your bitch didn't want you, and you just came up here to try to, falsify history. So you might want to just put the milk pipe down and make sure that you don't stab yourself, because we up in here talking big business. We don't give a fuck about your bitch, let alone your little mixed kids. Just tell the family that your people come from a different place and your bitch come from a different place. If she's a tether, you're gonna have to deal with it. She didn't want to deal with you. She came and got another brat, or she probably came back to try to get her green card and left your ass. They really do that. I don't know if you don't know that, but tethers are known for getting with people from America in different places to try to get like residency in different countries. So you might not have known that when y'all was married, or y'all were just doing y'all little thing, just stinking up the bedroom, smelling like expired mayonnaise and bus meat. But yeah, man, we don't want to hear about your bitch problems, man. Just going on somewhere to them other white supremacist spaces to talk about that. But besides that, Tariq, happy Juneteenth. I just had to say that. Just drop me down because I don't want to hear this loser talk no more.
There you go.
Just get your bitch together.
There you go. Happy Juneteenth, brother. And Asparity, he's not saying anything. So okay, let me get you out, Asparity. He's being quiet now. But yeah, his woman clearly she was some African or Caribbean woman talking about he don't know where she from. The hell you don't. And she didn't cook. Stop it. You know good and well she was in there making some damn jollof. Hey, come on now, ain't because he sounds broke. And ain't no FBA sister gonna be with no broke white man in no Arizona. So yeah, I already know. That's why he's acting dumb. These people ain't dumb. They like to play dumb. All right. No. You need to be big. Okay, my son wants to say hi. Say hi, man.
Hello.
All right. All right. What else? That's it? Okay. They don't want. They want you to take your. They said take your ass to bed. Yes, they did. All right. Okay. They want you to go to bed. All right. You got to go to bed, man. And that skunk is real loud. All right. Beyond, hop on Beyond.
Hey, sorry about the delay. One, I jumped in when the brother was talking about his lady.
Yeah.
And then he further validated why his lady was not in his life. He just don't even understand the black experience altogether. So I mean, spiritually you can feel that, and that's a good reason for the disconnect right there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. That's not something that you really have to explain. You like once the conversation further develops, and then you hear that like, oh my gosh, black people were not here, da da da, all this kind of shit, and then you're like, okay, yeah, your ass is bugging. That's why that shit wasn't gonna work in the first place.
Oh yeah.
That woman knows what the hell's going on this land prior to all of the understanding that colonial Scientology or whatever the fuck would try to explain and tell us what is true. So
Yeah, you go. Thank you, brother. Yeah, and old dude, Asparity, like, yeah, it was a bunch of Mexicans here. What? Okay, sometimes when you're debating somebody and they're just too dumb, it's like, okay, I can't punch that far down now. Damn. This fool said it was a bunch of Mexicans over here and ain't dude, there was no Mexicans over here when Christopher Columbus got here. They created Mexicans later. A Mexican is an ethnogenesis race. That's something that was created in Central America. That's an amalgamation of the Spanish, some of the tribes there, and the black people. They leave out the black because Mexico was a slave colony. They can sit here and try to deny that and ignore that. Mexico was a slave colony, and they are highly mixed in with the African people who were brought there. They brought hundreds of thousands of black people to Mexico. All right. They try to erase that type of history. No, you're not going to do that. All right. Boy, this skunk smell is a beast. Okay. Should I get RJ in here? Oh, Lord. Oh, should I get RJ in here? Let me try something. Let me get Pop It Off. I get Pop It Off in here. Pop It Off, hop in. But this skunk smell is burning my damn nose, man. Pop It Off, what's up, man?
Hello?
What's up, Pop?
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing, brother? What's on your mind, man? You driving?
Yeah, I'm driving. I'm heading into work right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got to be safe out there, brother. What's on your mind? Pop It Off.
Man, look here, man. I'm from South Carolina, from Columbia, South Carolina, right?
Yes.
I don't move up here to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I've been jumping in them Uber drivers, man. Them some of the muskiest I ever smelled in my life, dog. Man, look here, the musk is real up out here. And I didn't know they got so many tellers and they got so many Latinos up here like that, man. It was almost like a culture shock for me because Colombia, we got the little Mexicans and all kind of stuff like that, but we really don't have a lot of immigrants like that in Columbia, South Carolina,
Yeah.
But it's way different, man.
Man, my brother, man. Much respect to you. Let's get Robbie. Brother Robbie in the building.
Good morning, Flex. How you doing, man? Happy Juneteenth.
Thank you, brother. How are you?
Man, you've been cooking like fish grease. All I can say to try to backtrack on some of the brilliance that you've espoused to us is spiritually, we're the salt. That means we preserve and we add flavor. And everybody knows that they owe us, and we were never made whole. And that's really what it boils down to. So it affords them the luxury now to practice globalization, to have the nerve to have to add insult to injury, to practice tokenism and symbology. So they're cutting deals with these immigrants, basically telling them, come over here, practice flat blackness, buy into intersectionality, all these other things, so you can further dilute the payment owed to us. It's kind of like what they do with people who owe student loans. They're like, the debt is there, but you can keep deferring it. You can keep deflecting. We don't want to have to admit and own up to the fact that we never made foundational Black Americans whole. And that's why they look at us with amazement, because they're like, in spite of all of that, we've achieved so much greatness. And that's why we have so much influence. And like you say, that's why we have so much moral capital when it comes to dealing with social issues and the plights of others around the world. And I'll land my plane there.
Yeah, man. Great point, brother. Great point. Thank you for that. But yeah, man, that spiritual energy is very, very real that we have. It's very, very real. And we have to acknowledge it. And here's the thing. We as foundational Black Americans, with our spiritual energy, we have shielded and protected this nation. And it still protects the people who's harmed us. Because the thing is, this is the thing, we've been spiritually assigned as earthbound guardians. See, we have a lineage that was forged through the fire of slavery, resistance, ancestral sacrifice, and that pain that's encoded on a very unique spiritual frequency within us. And even though this nation has mistreated us, or the white supremacists within the nation has mistreated us, our spirit is clicked into this land itself, not just the government of the people. You understand? So all the great things about the culture comes from us. So we're protecting our culture because the culture we created, in spite of white supremacy, is great. That's what people like about this country, our culture. And again, anytime the white supremacists got a little piece of act right, we had to give it to them. We had to make these people act right. We had to force them to abide by the laws that they've written. You understand? See, we are the people, our foundational Black American energy, it anchors this nation's spiritual equilibrium. Every nation has a soul. Foundational Black Americans, we're the conscious and the karmic regulators of America. Our presence, it prevents this country from tipping over into full moral and spiritual collapse. Look at what's happening in these cities now that we ain't really stepping up protecting nobody. We're sitting down taking a little break. These folks are just in chaos right now. They out here running around, marching around. They don't even know what they're marching for. They're just running around in circles, asking for us to come through. Yeah, begging for us. You understand that? They know, they know we're the spiritual balance of this country. And when America crosses certain thresholds, war, social collapse, or whatever, that 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 spiritual weight of foundational Black Americans, we start pulling it back from destruction. You see? See, everybody benefits. Without that energy, America would implode from within. So it's a real deep thing. See, we're the spiritual buffer between America and global collapse, basically. Historically, whenever this country was on the brink of collapse from war, economic disaster, civil unrest, Black culture, military moral strength steps in. Remember, let's go back. We fought in the Revolutionary War. We were the ones really putting in a lot of work with that. In the Civil War, again, this country was about to be toe up. This country was about to get split up into something else. The Confederates was going to start a whole different country. It was going to be multiple different countries over here. We came in and stopped that. We preserved the Union. You understand? World War II, we were instrumental in a lot of the victories that happened over there, overseas in World War II. It's foundational Black Americans. You see? So, look, spiritual laws don't always align with human emotions. See, even though we've been harmed by these white supremacists, the spiritual laws um, that we operate, it has a higher calling. See, that's why our spiritual power, it's going to protect the culture here, not because the white supremacists deserve it. No, we got a divine assignment. This country has the potential to be great. The people stopping it from being great are the white supremacists. You understand? So we have to keep them in check to a certain degree while we maintain the dignity and the moral standing of this nation and the potential that this country has. If we can get the white supremacists to stop effing up. Asparity, let me get you back on here since you keep putting your little emojis on here because I'm talking about your ass in your community. Asparity, hop on back in here. There you go. Yeah, what happened earlier? Did you drop your meth pipe on the phone?
You gonna insult me again?
Yes, I am.
You just said that I'm a white supremacist,
A
man.
suspected white supremacist. I don't know for sure, but go ahead.
Well, that's what you said, man.
I did? When did I say that? I thought I said suspected.
Uh, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, you just throwing a bunch of shit at me. You got your boy on the line, just throwing a bunch of shit at me. I'm just trying to talk to you, man.
Okay, talk to me. Talk to me. Because you were saying stuff that was just historically false, telling me there were Mexicans over here before Columbus. Like you said, there were a bunch of red Indians and Mexicans. Like, no, so you can't say shit like that. That's just silly, right?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is I got a lot of love for the black community, man.
Got
Y'all
a lot
put
of,
it down in here.
got a lot of love
Y'all,
for immigrant baby mama.
I do, I do, I do, I do.
No, you got a lot of lust for,
That's what you call it?
yeah, your lust. You got a lot of lust.
Okay, I got a lot of lust. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you wouldn't even be honest.
Sure.
Your ex chick being an immigrant. She's an immigrant. You didn't want to admit.
Nah, she was black.
Yeah, she's black, but she's probably Caribbean or African, and you're not
My daughter's mixed, dog.
right. But I'm talking about the baby.
Right. So that sounds like I'm so racist, huh? Because I had love for a black woman that showed me love back.
Okay,
So that makes me racist, right?
listen.
That makes me a white supremacist.
Just because
That's what you're
you
saying?
think you got wait, slow down. You think because you got a mixed kid that negates racism?
Okay. Well, bring in your boy, man. Have him back you up, man.
I'm talking to you. You think
That's what you just did.
I'm talking to you?
That's what you did.
So
And all he did was pop off. He couldn't even answer a simple question.
I'm answering the questions. You think having a mixed kid negates racism?
Okay. Well, I love that girl, so I don't know what to tell you, man.
Jefferson had mixed kids. What's your point? He was a slave owner. He put them to work. What's your point?
We ain't talking about slave owners, man.
Yeah.
Slave is
Oh,
still alive today, dog. It's still alive today. You know how many people
okay, let me slow. You don't talk over me. Yeah, we are talking about slavery. Slavery is alive now, and the mindset of slave owners is alive now. Sexually exploitive, right? Controlling and denigrating and disrespectful. Yeah, that mindset is still here, and you have it, sir. And you're not going to do that here. Unmute your microphone. He's probably still trying to talk. Unmute your microphone, Asparity. He's over there mayo babbling. I hear echoes in that trailer.
my phone isn't disconnected.
Right. Asparity, let me ask you this. The George Floyd case. Do you that George? Are you over there stirring mayonnaise? What does that sound?
That was me picking up the headphones so I could hear you again.
Okay, there you go. Okay, you can just put the top on the mayonnaise and put it back in the fridge. Let me ask you this:
Yeah, I watched that movie too.
You're right. George Floyd.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Okay, George Floyd. What?
Do you think he was murdered by Chavin, or do you think that George Floyd died of an overdose?
I think he was put into a bad situation,
Oh
and
Lord.
it caused asphyxiation, and he was scared and feared that the police were going to get him. And yeah, I think something bad happened. I do. But do I blame that cop? No, I don't.
Okay, there you go. So you are a suspected white supremacist because that's
For what? For the cops doing their job?
your job is to kill somebody.
He was doing his job. That guy was robbing a store, man.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Why do you think the cops got called out there in the first place? His ass was robbing the store.
No, he wasn't.
Well, that's your opinion, bro.
No, it's not. Either he was or he wasn't. He wasn't robbing.
He got put into a tough situation. He was up. He was on a bunch of shit, and the cops put their knee on him. And I feel bad about that. I do. As
No,
a
you
white
don't.
guy, I feel bad about that. I do. I really do.
No,
But
no, you don't. You just sitting.
yeah, I do.
You sitting here doing "I'm white and I say so, sir." And now you think I care.
What?
And now you see why we don't care about you having a mixed daughter and why that don't mean shit. Now you see why.
I feel bad for that guy, man. I do. I feel
Now you
bad.
why you having a mixed child don't mean a damn thing, sir. You sound like every other run-of-the-mill white supremacist. Let me get Ania Saru in here. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't give a damn about you laying up with somebody black. That don't mean nothing. Ania Saru, hop on in. Brother Ania, mute your mic. It might be a double mute, but we'll give you a few seconds. Ani, if you can unmute that mic, brother. All right. Okay, Ani, he went down. Let me get no cap.
I had to unmute it, but let's hear what your boy has to say.
I'm gonna get no cap in here. No cap, hop on in. No cap, no cap. Okay, what's going on?
Yeah. What's going on with it,
Good
Flex?
brother, how are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Yeah, this guy, man, I'm talking about the ignorance
Let me
knows
hear
no
it, man.
bound.
Let me hear it.
Yeah, your ignorance knows no bound. It's just boundless. It's amazing,
About
though,
what? About what?
about a variety of things. About George
Like
Floyd,
what?
about blackness, about everything. Goodness.
George
It's hard to
Floyd
even
was
know where to
strung up on a
start.
bunch of shit when his ass got arrested,
Hey,
and
I'll
he
tell you
feared
what,
from those police,
be
and he feared
quiet
them.
for a
And
minute
I get,
and
I
listen.
get what happened. I get
All
what
right.
happened.
So
I
this
get
is
it.
for your understanding, okay?
All right. Okay.
You don't get what happened apparently
Yeah, I
because
do.
when you're
His
talking
ass was
about it,
strung up.
you're coming off all wrong, all
All
right?
right.
And
Explain it to
hey,
me.
maybe it's inherent. I don't know.
I just
However, it's
watched the
coming
news,
off like
man.
it
I
is.
watched the news. I see it. So explain it
Yeah.
to me. What happened
See,
to George
but the
Floyd?
difference is you're
What
talking to
happened
a
to George?
black man right now. You
Stop
understand?
changing the subject. What
And
happened to George Floyd?
this black man has
What
lived a
happened to
life.
George Floyd?
You hearing me?
Yeah, hold on.
There's
Well,
Yes, I hear you.
George,
What happened to him?
he got Avon, put his knee on his neck and killed him. That's what happened. That's why Derek, right?
That was a bad situation, man. You put a cop who knew nothing that was going on into a situation, man.
Well, no, he put himself in that situation. You don't kill people. You don't put.
His ass was trying to subdue the criminal.
No,
That's what he was.
he did a
Yes, that's what he was trying to
he
do.
racial murder. Now his mayonnaise encrusted ass is in prison. He did a racial murder. Y'all tried that I'm white and I say so bullshit, and the karmic pendulum swung another way and got his ass locked right up where he's supposed to be, right? So he's in a bad situation. He put himself. You shouldn't have sat there and murdered somebody knowing what you were doing. That's how it works, right? See, sometimes we gotta save the nation from you white supremacists. We gotta save this country from you because your demonic mindset. Okay, that's just not going to cut it. Hold on. Okay, let me thank you, Asparity. Let me get some other people. I don't want to hear it. Brooklyn Gold, what's up, dear? Brooklyn Gold is Brooklyn Gold. Got the damn smoke alarm, sister. What in the 8 is going on over there, ma'am? Are you being kidnapped? I think this might be a crime scene, sister. Are you being kidnapped in your Section 8 apartment? If, and she's in Brooklyn, so a Caribbean tether might have jumped in the window and they're assaulting.
Oh no,
You okay?
I can't get my mic working.
Okay. Go get some deodorant. Make him go away. Spray some deodorant. He'll go. He'll leave. Brooklyn, why are you doing it?
My mic ain't working.
Okay, I can hear you. Just talk with your regular mic. I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Hear you perfectly. You good?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Good evening to the room. I wanted to address asparity.
Yes.
So, what always kills me is when you bring up George Floyd with these suspected white supremacists, they always make it like the cop was just doing his job. The first thing is, since when is it a police officer's job to be judge, jury, executioner when we are allegedly committing some misdemeanor crime
Right.
that killing us is justified? Then, on top of that, how many countless videos do we see where they get pulled over for speeding or whatever to get a ticket, and these people jump out the car and crash out on cops?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now they got a problem with them doing their so-called job. But when it comes to us, oh, they were just doing their job. And since when is it their job to put a knee on someone's neck? I don't know who I guess they think we just super Negroes that cutting off air supply isn't supposed to kill you. That it's clearly not that, it's something else.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he's got a mixed child. I really don't. I think he's full of shit. I think he's full of shit because I don't think any Black American woman in her right mind would sit there and just have a conversation with this man with the dumb shit that came out of his mouth and think, oh, yeah, let me lay up and make a baby with
Right.
this man, unless she's trying to get money out of him. And
That's
it doesn't sound like he's got that.
that's why I said his woman must be an immigrant, and he act like he don't know. I think she's an immigrant. I think it was a 90-day fiance situation.
She's probably Hispanic.
Yeah, yeah, or Latina shit.
Yeah, somebody dark complected but Hispanic. That's why he's making it like Mexicans were running all across North America
Right,
before us.
right,
Even in nature, on the color wheel, you can't get any other color without black.
right.
Every other color comes from black. That's what every color on the color wheel is removing pigment from black.
Yes, ma'am.
So, if that's how it is in nature, baby, you can't argue with nature and you can't argue with science.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Brooklyn. You better change that battery. You got to have a man in that house. Your damn smoke alarm chirping. Get you a nigga up in there to get a ladder and change that battery. Jay Cinco. What's up, Jay? Jay Cinco, hop on in, man. J. Cinco, I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna move on to the next caller. All right. So let's get RJ, the Democrat tether. He's the Democrat shield. Let's get RJ. RJ, what's going on, RJ? What's going on with the Democrats? Let's hear some of your talking points.
Happy Juneteenth to you.
Happy Juneteenth to you. What's going on, RJ?
I'm good. I'm good. I just have maybe a little pedantic point or semantic point. You know that black man that was, exposing Latinos trying to get, you know, black Americans, African Americans fired.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Um, it's good for him to expose that. That's good for him to do.
That is,
But my thing is, he used the word African American, right? And you understood what he meant. But when someone comes up here and say they're African American, you suddenly just assume that they are immigrants because you think that the FBA is a general term that everyone's still using. No, some people are still using African American, and you just have to you just have to accept that for at least a couple of years. You can't just think African American is immigrant now. No, FBA isn't a common term yet. So
but it
that's my
it's
point.
getting there. It's getting there. It's a very popular term now. It's an extremely popular term. And we understand if sometimes when somebody says African American, generally they are speaking about foundational Black Americans generally.
Yeah.
But technically, Myron Gaines is African American, and that's where the problem comes in. So when people know the difference and they're still talking about African American, then that
See, he's an online person, you see.
online what now?
He's an online figure. He's online, so he knows. He's literally debated you, so he knows what you mean by FBA and the difference in African American. But people who are not really online, which is a lot of people, you know, when they use African American, they're just meaning, FBA. You feel me? But
But
they're using African Americans because it's still like the main term for like several decades now.
yeah, yeah, because they have it on paperwork and documents and employment records. So yeah, they have that, and that was given to us by the dominant society. But the thing is, again, we don't really, as foundational Black Americans, we don't do everything that they tell us to do. We rebel against these people, and we do things on our own terms, and we are labeling ourselves on our own terms. And uh,
But the culture is still catching up. That's my point. The culture is still catching up. It's not there yet to use FBA. People are still using African American.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
a lot of people are rejecting African American. A lot of people, especially online, they're using FBA and offline too, and that's what it is. That is what it is. That's the new norm. But thank you so much. Okay, that was a nothing burger conversation. Okay. All right, let's get Joram. Let's get Joram. Joram, what part of Africa you from, Joram? Joram up here in this picture looking like a Nigerian Frankie Beverly. Joram, where you from, man? Joram, unmute your microphone, sir. Unmute your mic. Okay, he went out. Okay. I guess he got cold feet. All right. Let's get one more good one in here because I gotta go find some skunk scent removal. And I thought I had some in my garage and I don't. I gotta figure out what I gotta bathe these stinking ass dogs with. All right, let's get trust. Let's get trust in the building. Trust, hop on in. Mr. Trust, hop on in. All right. Trust ain't saying nothing. So you guys raise your hands if you are ready. If you are ready, I need you to raise those hands. Let's get um old dog, old dog in the building. All right. Let's just have everybody raise their hand if they're ready. Because I'm letting these folks. So let's get FBA final boss. He's raising his hand. FBA final boss, hop on in. I can hear you. What's up, fam?
to you first, though.
Happy Juneteenth.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I was the brother that Grimes was talking about earlier, man. I was walking down the street, and these two white girls, they're handing out flyers to people, handing them out to a lot of white people too. I'm seeing. And I walked past, and I was trying to avoid them because I really, I really wasn't interested. Whatever it was, I didn't want nothing from them, so I was just gonna keep it pushing. They kind of went out their way to, get my attention and, give me the flyer. So I'm reading it. It's talking about Juneteenth barbecue, uh, and it's like a pamphlet talking about Juneteenth ties to class solidarity. It's like
Oh
some
boy.
yeah, they trying to get us back on this on the plantation, man, the political plantation, it sounds like, and also because it's like some type of communist organization behind this thing. Um I think that they're trying to use Juneteenth uh to get us to be the cannon fodder again, or as you say, the guardians of these people. They're trying to get us back in the mix because we're resting, we're line dancing, we're healing ourselves, and we're focusing on us and what's best for our lineage. And they don't like that. So now all of a sudden they're attaching, the white people are trying to, the white leftists, they're trying to tether to Juneteenth, which I was used to the Caribbeans and Africans doing it, but I didn't see them uh coming and pulling this, man. So yeah, we got some work to do out here, some straightening to do, man. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. All right, fam. Let me go ahead and wrap it on up. It's been real. Much respect to you guys. Everybody go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, hiddenhistorymuseum.com, and make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. That would be phenomenal. Also go to microphonecheck.com to get the new movie. Not my new movies. It's been out for a minute. My latest movie, Microphone Check. Very good movie. And get your rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. All right. I'm up out of here. Papi Akute, Lula Vuvi to the family. Peace.